One thing that they definitely were doing quite a bit, VP, on the CT side was actually leaving Bialy alone on the high ground at B.
Yeah.
And there's a way to deal with that, which, you know, could definitely be interesting, where if they could actually even push past him and just go for the bomb pile, as long as they have a smoke left to smoke him off with, and then sort of deal with him later.
How is Flamey not taking damage from that molly?
We've seen that before.
He literally stood inside the flames.
Yeah, we've seen it before. Somehow the train eats most of the
heat.
Yeah, I don't even know how. Listen, I am not a physicist, so I'll just have to accept it.
Assuming the valve devs are. In any case, though, it did lead to 2 quick entry frags for Na'Vi, though not Flamey being part of it, but well, Flamey being part of one of them, but Electronic opening things up first. And VP with a bit of a gamble out in towards Yard. Left the entire B-bomb site completely vacant. You can't really blame them for doing so at this point. Snacks is going to rotate over. They do have double ops, which was a tendency they had versus Tylo as well. Double ops setup did a lot of good. There's no reason to shy away from it either.
I almost wish that VP would gamble and put everyone on one bomb site at this point.
Yeah, no, that was the idea they had, really, but then Snacks rotated over.
Missed shot from Pasha. Might have been his only chance as well. Going to be coming in from every different side. Electronic will land a headshot, and Snacks has to try and back off. Oh, he gets caught in the middle of it. I just feel like 5 versus 3 on train, it's kind of a reasonable thing to do. Obviously, if they come, you try and fight, maybe you win. If they go to the other bomb site, then you just save, and that's a reasonable choice too. Yeah. What a great round from Na'Vi. They're going to love this one.
A really good one, and means that we're not going to see the greatest of buys coming out from BP. They will get an op in the hands of double up, actually. Potentially, or it's just being thrown back and forth. But yeah, ops in the hands of Pasha. Snacks is down to a ZZ. But I think one of the reasons why they decided to split up was because they had the double op setup. So Snacks can still do significant damage without necessarily committing towards the inner bomb site, which gives them an opportunity to set up for a potential retake. And Pasha, again, if he's able to land one of the 2 shots out towards Pop, maybe that gives him a little bit more time to work with.
Moving very close with that AWP. I mean, sometimes you do feel like if it's the one big weapon you have left, you want to put it into use. This is the position that Bialy was playing earlier. It does sort of feel like Zeus has been watching a little bit. They were definitely ready for that position. This is exactly what he did against Tylo Bialy. And with some success, Electronic going to just continue into the bomb site, landing headshots left and right. Finally getting shot by Mihu, but you can see that VP already have the bombs. Also, Na'Vi already have the bomb site. They're not really worried. And even this flank from Neo, the bomb's behind him for some weird and obscure reason. That might be very confusing. Yeah, Simple's going to quickly run down. He does have a smoke that he can put in. That was
strange,
yeah.
Definitely. So when Neo actually moved up towards, up the lower ramp as well, so he wouldn't have heard Simple actually backing off towards Pop immediately. But now, is he going to get confirmation on that? I expect Flamey to be in connector already. So yeah, a bit of a awkward situation there, but Na'Vi make the most out of it. But yeah, as you said, that was very, very obvious that Zeus knew what to expect that he was turning the corner. Doesn't know what the fight, but again, does have teammates behind him to actually be able to get the trade. And at that point, rotation times are going to be really, really rough.
Zeus is hyped up. That was exactly the position that I was sort of alluring to, the one that I also remembered that he played against Tylo. So hopefully Bialy will find ways of switching it up.
Yeah, changing things up. Either have potentially either Snacks or Pasha with an off, for instance, peeking up lower ramp initially, and then you can at least give the impression that you're doing something different. Now we have to second guess results. Flaming doing a great job, picking up people left and right. Will eventually go down though. 2 entries from VP here, 3 actually. Adding to the total right now, VP.
He's going to win this fight pretty quick, and he's going to be able to. That got a bit too expensive and maybe a little bit careless for Na'Vi, obviously. Trusting in the superior firepower. Yeah. Virtus.pro are now back in the rifle range.
They did it by committee at least. So we're in positions to trade for each other. So even though VP are picking up pistols or picking up weapons, no chance for VP to kind of settle down, pick up a weapon, and do something more out of it at least. And we'll see now. No op in the hands of anyone on VP's side, so that double op setup far too gone.
Yeah, that's going to be out in the future somewhere if they can start to string more rounds together, which I think they really need to. Again, get to hold Na'Vi back as much as you can early on in this game. CT side economy has just been a returning topic for this whole tournament.
Yeah, it's been a nightmare for both of these teams so far in the first 2 maps as well. Na'Vi on Dust 2, never getting anything going. Same thing for VP on the CT side of Nuke. Oh, it's a nice idea, just catches the wrong timing.
Yeah, in fact, it's even worse than that. The fact that the flashbang goes off means Na'Vi know to peek afterwards. Like they have every idea that there's going to be someone there waiting for them. Edward, just checking close. Smoke goes up in front of him. Now he's going to try and see if he can flank into the bomb site. He was flashed, though he couldn't see anything. It doesn't really matter. As simple as Electronic are going to get a couple of return kills at the very least. So 3 versus 4 now. The bomb going down, and with Sush landing that headshot on Snacks, might be time for Neo and Mihu to think about backing off. Unless they get very, very quick kills, it's not worth it.
Yeah, you can tell Mihu's already started backing off. Neo's a little bit too slow. Take full advantage of it. So even though Neo's able to find that, might have been a bit of a mouse wheel jump there. Actually doesn't back up as well. That catches Electronic, so he's getting kills. He's actually
if he had a kit.
This? Yeah, I was about to say, he doesn't have a kit. Maybe he's just trying to force Flamey to come back here.
If he had a kit, it's not. I think he could have run and defused before Flamey could have got there.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. He also had a Molotov as well, so he could have put down a Molotov on the lower ramp. So again, you make it even harder for Flamey to get into an angle where he can actually shoot you. Yeah, Virtus.pro, just that low econ working against them once again. Now though, need to see some conservative buys coming out of them, and luckily not too much of an investment on their side, so they will actually be able to get to a double up if they want to after this.
3 HE grenades in case Na'Vi sort of want to go a bit aggressive somewhere. You can maybe do something with it. It's always a coin flip. I feel like most of the time it doesn't even really work out in your favor, but the one time it does, especially if you're in a grand final, that would be well worth it, wouldn't it?
Pasha not going out from his angles quick enough. Edward's gonna abuse that. Setting the bomb side open. Ooh. Solid dink there onto Simple, down to 36 HP. Neo just putting more and more damage into the Na'Vi players, but not going to be able to net a kill. Byali and Mihu try to find the scraps of it. Flamey still holding strong back in T-spawn, and Byali not really a whole lot you can do.
It's just a very uncomfortable trend that's developing here if you're on the VP side. So losing 5 rounds in a row, suddenly, you know, the 3 rounds that you got from winning the pistol doesn't really feel that great anymore. Yeah. Kind of, you know, makes you wonder, how do we stop them if we don't really have all the utility and all the rifles, and they're building a strong bank, so...
It's going to be an uphill climb. Listen, for sure.
There was a whole wave of excitement on social media. I noticed after the first map, threads being made, Virtus.pro back. This is it, you know, and... Man. Those threads quickly got deleted after the second map. Yeah. People deleting their whole accounts. Just, nope.
No trace of this.
Man.
Still plenty of chances here to work back into this. And I guess, considering how easy of a time that Virtus.pro had versus Tai Lu on their train games, we haven't really seen them tested in like to their full potential on either CT or T side. So there's still something, I guess, left to be answered in that sense.
Snacks has picked up one. You got to think Pasha's going to buy the other AWP if they want to go for it.
Yeah, you'd imagine so. He's thinking about it. He can afford an AWP and full Kevlar.
There it is.
It's actually going to afford non-head Kevlar, which is smart. You know that you're going up against primarily AKs. So it would be typical, as we saw in Dust 2, if the MAC-10 comes into play and destroys Pasha. But I think that's a chance you're willing to take. And on we go. The double up setup really needs to come into play here for Virtus.pro.
Yeah, the whole point on, especially on a map like this, is just to get that opening frag, pick it off easy, and then fall back to a bit of safety. They've got the setup down at Ivy that we've seen before. If the AWP misses, in fact, it's going to go aggressive. I think Mihu had an inkling that something was up there. Swapping out for the AK-47 on the other side is going to be Seuss. Does he want to challenge it? It might have been a bit suspicious that there was only one person forward in that position and nobody else there. Seuss a little bit scared that someone was going to push him afterwards, and it's going to be an even trade, but I'm not sure if Na'Vi are too worried about that.
Doesn't seem like it. Flamey for right now, just posturing up, setting up for smoke. No real indication as to what Na'Vi wants to do. Just yet. Neo gets aggressive.
Yeah, but look at the movement. He smokes off the Molotov, then runs forward in front of the grenade so he doesn't take any damage from it. I wonder if he hadn't smoked off the Molotov and instead had tried to run to sort of escape it, would the grenade have caught him so they would slow down inside the Molotov? That could have been very, very bad.
good. Flamey taking significant damage. Snacks as well has been kind of pushed off his angle in Ivy. Oh, that's a nice shot from Flamey.
Neo, he gets a kill, but he's trapped in the corner. Yeah, there was no way out. He was low on health as well, so grenade follow-up would have been at the end of him regardless. Simple will take him down. As you said, Snacks already low. Pasha with the other AWP. Bomb being planted on the other side of the train, and it's going to come through as well. No one there to interrupt it. Snacks has got one angle, which may be good news, but again, to dig out these Na'Vi players is going to take all day, and they've even been spotted walking around, so they have every position they could want right now. Pasha sneaking in. Actually, Snacks gets that kill on Simple. Na'Vi moving around a fair bit here. Pasha going to try and smoke off on one angle. Good line up, and Flamey will simply take them down. Good triple for him. Na'Vi going to be at 6-3. That's 6 rounds in a row for them. And again, the Virtus.pro economy, I mean, I don't even know.
Yeah, no, I mean, the only thing they have going for them right now is the fact that, yeah, they got the pistol round, so at least the loss bonus is building up significantly, or it's maxed out at this point.
It's looking really bad in every way.
This is confusing to me. Mihu's bought a single op. They would have had a full die in the next round. Now, obviously, there's not going to be that potential for Mihu. He's going to have to be aggressive with this if he wants to make it work. Well, there you go.
We call it the hero AWP, and obviously there's a reason for that, although, I mean, I understand your skepticism. Usually this does not work out.
The thing is, like, there's not a lot of a follow-up after either. You don't have armor on Neo or Snacks. They've just committed to Deagles. And Pasha's on the opposite side of the map from where the op is, so he can't pick it up necessarily. Bialy's tucked away towards Pop Dog, so yeah, no, it's a massive risk to take, but I only seem confident in it. Pasha using the same position that Bialy lived in. Oh, actually not aware of it.
Yeah, they really like that one. He's going to get caught regardless. Flamey. Pasha just trying to escape. Not going to be able to. Still a 4-on-3, but again, the weapon's not looking too good for VP. Snacks now taking the position that this can actually be quite clever, because they've already checked that, as it were. They might not sort of clear. Oh, will they see the weapon missing on the ground? I'm wondering if Zeus did that. Snacks crouched in, and he's going to be walking in straight for the headshot. Mihu's in position, but he can't really miss a single shot. The Monstov not going to do too much to him, but again, re-peeking it could be instant death. Bialy with a flank, but he's not checking that angle. Quite smart play from Zeus, and that's the end of it. The AWP gone. Neo's gone as well. Great round from Zeus here, the captain of the team. Triple kill as well, 7-3. This is starting to spiral out of control.
Yeah.
Economy's so bad, Vendetta. They've had to default on all their loans. Got to get more money from Germany to keep things going.
Yeah, it took a new mortgage, didn't they? All right, now, Nick, you see I guess the aftermath of Mihu picking up that single off. He's not going to have any sort of utility, which is pretty significant considering he usually plays towards Ivy. So they might have to work around that a little bit. Maybe put him in a different position, or maybe just give up Ivy completely.
I mean, he's been really crisp with the aim out in this yard, not afraid to take the fights, even against sometimes the AWP out there. Asher goes down to Simple. You can see Stacks are starting to feel like this is very uncomfortable. Quite sure exactly where they are. Nobody in the B-bomb side right now. Everybody from VP is still at A, crossing their fingers probably and hoping that Na'Vi are just going to commit to this A-bomb side. It's a good flashbang in as Mio picks up Flamey. Neo going to get that one kill on Edward inside a Pop Dog, and that's going to make it 3-on-3 at the very least.
Right now, everyone's just better at the map. Bomb over by Simple. He's going to rotate over to Ivy, but Electronic's already out here. By the 7 train, he's going to find Snacks, and that's the one position that was left open due to Mihu's lack of utility, and he's going to find Neo as well. Bialy, lone in a 1v3. He's done it multiple times in this tournament already, but now would be a better time than ever to do it again.
Yeah, they need to be sort of jump-started, and he's no idea someone's waiting for him here. Zeus is going to be able to do it yet again. Right now, some of these fights that Zeus are winning right now, they're just him getting into a good position and standing still. I mean, it's not, I'm not trying to sort of like discredit him in any way, but like it does show that you don't always need to have like the best possible aim in the world. You can just sort of get good positional play in, and you're going to get easy fights, and he's done a really good job. This smoke that's right next to Electronic, that's just fading, I think that smoke is what actually baits Snacks into thinking that no one would have come from that position.
It's the idea of the smoke being a wall, right?
Yeah. So Quite good play. 8 rounds in a row. Na'Vi just focused on that prize at the end. The trophy in front of them on the stage. 8-3 the scoreline. And they're looking so good right now.
Really are. And VP, they're running out of options here. It's going to be another, I guess, half investment from their end. Neo with the Deagle, smoke grenade, and I think there are a couple of others purchased into it as well. But
we just aren't seeing the same kind of swagger that we saw out of them when they were playing against Tyloo. Virtus.pro, they were hitting so many good shots. Like, even individually, they just look really, really crisp. And feels like, you know, the 2.5-hour break in between, whatever it is, they've sort of cooled off a little bit, and they can't really get back into it. And now we obviously, they're not going to give them any breaks right now. They love it.
They absolutely do. And one of the issues we've had is that Tyloo didn't pressure the inner bomb side all too often, which allowed for Virtus.pro to be feel very safe, at least, about having 4 players out towards yard. That hasn't necessarily been the case. You've seen the couple of higher setups that we've seen out of Virtus.pro hasn't necessarily been too successful. So it requires them to do adaptations. Na'Vi are doing a much better job of actually splitting the defense of VP. Right now, Flamey has just gotten in behind enemy lines.
Yeah, the bomb is going to go down at the A-bomb side. So big stack here for VP with the pistols over at B. I don't think that's unreasonable, but they guessed it wrong. Snacks, who was playing Ivy, has snuck all the way in towards T-spawn and now is in main. Not really sure if that's going to help much. Simple trying to check all of the angles. Might have been a bit of noise. No, actually, Snack's just waiting and Simple crouching, and he just knows. Don't ask me how.
The game sense on that, man. Right now, the one positive, though, for Virtus.pro is that AK in the hands of Pasha, but you'd assume that Na'Vi are going to close in on that. And Electronic and Flamey already on the job. Nice shot there from Mihu. Pasha gets scared away, actually. Not allowed to step in for a second one, but will Pasha be able to hold on to the AK? Yes, he will.
Yeah, it's such a shame, though, because that could have been a chance to carry some more rifles forward. I mean,
yeah, you need everything at this point if you're VP.
Yeah. Just continue the scavenging if at all possible. That would be great.
Yeah, and if we're sounding very gloom, it is. I think we have to reiterate the fact that it's not over. If VP managed to get the 6 rounds, they still have a fighting chance going into the second half. It's just the fact that it's been 9 rounds in a row for Na'Vi.
And some of these rounds, if we're being quite honest, have not seemed competitive at all.
Yeah.
They've really looked like Na'Vi have just had their way. Even at times, it seems like Na'Vi sort of continue to fight even past the point where they maybe need to, because they just feel like, well, you know,
everything's going so well.
Yeah, it's really working out.
Right now, Na'Vi decided to slow things down once more.
Bit of an awkward jump. Snacks thinking about just flashing himself in for a bit of a peek. He's got the AWP out here in the yard.
It seemed very content, actually, with just leaving Ivy open, which is surprising considering how much pressure Na'Vi keeps putting on it. Even in the rounds where they don't actually commit, Electronic is lurking about. He's going to get actually found by Mihu there. That might be the step in the right direction for Virtus.pro. Some aggression to catch Na'Vi off guard.
Going slow down the ladder can be a good way to just lose your feet, at least.
Flame's going to survive for now. Edwards made his way out towards higher, though. Right now, though, there is a 2-man setup for VP. Biel is going to have to find at least 1 kill here.
Yeah, it's a really good off angle, this one. The problem is you're also so vulnerable to flashbangs. But apart from that, if you don't get flashed, you can definitely get a lot of kills. He is flashed, and they're going to lose Pasha while Bialy recovers his vision. Sperman here going to be picking up the kill on Edward. Instant return from Flamey. Again, Flamey's aim in this game, at least on train, has just been absolutely on point. So now a 3-on-3, the bomb going down with not much time left. Mihu up on the high ground. Oh no, Simple still picking up the kill on Mihu. He had the big opportunity right then and there. Snacks is going to sneak in 1 kill. Su's not sure where to look, but he's going to find the kill on Niu anyway. He's actually had such a high impact, Su, so far in the game. Missed opportunity, and he will be taken down. Another double kill for Zeus, and a 10-3 scoreline. 10 in a row. What's kills on Zeus right now?
He's on 10, but the thing is, like, you would have expected it to be more, simply off of the fact that they've had a lot of impact.
It's 10, there's 3 assists on top of that, right? So it's pretty good. Flamey, though, with 16 overall, 16-6. Having a very, very good game.
It's been wreaking havoc. pretty much anywhere he's gone right now. VP just not able to find their footing. Pasha was doing such a great job, maybe predominantly on the T side of Train in their previous games, not really able to get his groove going in Simple. Come
on, man.
He's tried a couple of times, finally makes it work, and that's Neo down, sent to his tomb.
I mean, if you Virtus.pro at this point, you just have to wonder, I mean, yeah, why not? What's the next thing? Is it going to be hail and thunderstorms and locusts? Because there's really not much left, is there? Flamey going to be taking down Pasha. It's 11-3. The scoreline now way out of control. My God.
Everything just lines up perfectly for that man.
What a disgusting shot.
Curious if he actually kept his hands on his keyboard this time around.
There were some people theorizing that he got tabbed out, which seems like the most likely explanation. But I just kind of wish that he was such a badass that you just said.
It's way less fun if that's the actual explanation.
I like the more dramatic explanation. Now he's picked up the auto snap.
Why not? Well, it doesn't land a single shot though, unfortunately for him.
So. Double auto shotgun on the other team too. So we've hit a deep level here. It's
exploring every option here available to them.
We've long departed from the realm of sanity, and now we've just ended up where we are. 11 rounds in a row for Navi. I don't think they actually care any longer. They've just got such a big lead. Edward going to hit the headshot. Electronic. Not going to win that fight against the FAMAS though. Neo able to just sort of crouch peek that at the perfect time. The alley's going to be taking down Flamey. Oh my God, what? Why does it work at that range?
That doesn't make sense at all. Simple's probably scratching his head. Snax is going to continue to move forward. Apparently,
I don't know what to say.
Is amazing at range.
It's just much better than you would have expected. And now it's on Zeus, and surely they can handle this. 1 versus 2. He hasn't got a bomb plan yet. Out in the open, he's going to take down Bialy, and now Neo long range. He's maybe just going to be able to... He suddenly saw Zeus falling back, so that's a bit of innovation to work with. And Zeus actually is going to continue, so no double fakes or anything like that.
Neo's going to be hot on his heels, though. So bomb going down. Not a whole lot of time, really, to reposition for Zeus. Oh, that's a bold move.
He somehow makes it up. That's actually really problematic for Neo. He hasn't got like any smoke or anything to block him off with. If he tries to find him, that could take a long time, and he doesn't have a defuse kit. Somehow Zeus might have actually outplayed him. He's going to go for the peek. Zeus looking the wrong way, and he gets the kill. 1 versus 2. 12 rounds in a row for Na'Vi, almost certainly cementing this grand finals. I don't know what it would take for Virtus.pro to bring it back right now. And they've lost, I mean, once you lose 1 versus 2 to Zeus as well, that's frustrating, you know. There's so many other players on that team that you have to worry about, but Zeus is actually doing a remarkable job right now.
It really is, and only 2 of these rounds came down to a really close scenario for VP, where they had a fighting chance. 2 out of those 12 round wins for Na'Vi. It was just utter domination. Zeus being a big part of that as well.
Yeah, well, you wanted to believe that after what they've shown us so far in the tournament at Virtus.pro that, you know, there's a little bit more depth, a little bit more there to look for. Maybe too early on. We'll see what they could do here in the pistol round. They've got the Molotov for the classic B setup where you simply deny the defuse. And speaking of which, there's no kit or no smoke or anything. So if they get to the bomb planting stage, and they have the Molotov on the high ground, it's going to be all tears for Na'Vi. That's almost certain.
Even have the secondary Molotov as well to cut off any sort of rotation through connector. Right now, Na'Vi, though, is set up very aggressive in pop as well, so they can have the quick flank to mess up every plan that VP has made.
Oh, Flamey. Can he shut it down for them? There's the bomb down. That's a really big kill. More are coming. And Mihu's going to pick one up with the Glock, running right into Zeus, and they're going to take him down. Bomb has been planted as well, and they still have the Molotovs. In fact, one of them a high ground. Not even sure it's going to come to that, as Mihu is doing a very fine job. He does eventually go down, but it's a triple before he does. And Edward sneaking in. Free firing. That one sees the shadow on the ground. And again, a 2-on-2. But those Molotovs, I mean, now we don't even know it yet, but they're already partially wrecked by it. Pasha going to get the 1 kill on Edward, and he's just going to run back for the Molotov. Why not? Simple challenging, and he's going to go down. So Virtus.pro winning the pistol after finally losing 12 rounds in a row. I mean, that's something to work with.
It is something, but what a climb they've made for themselves right now. But it's a start. It's a much-needed start as well. But, you know, that's not to be said that Na'Vi won't be able to put up any sort of resistance here coming into the second round. We've got a Scout picked up on Flamey, 3 ZZs and a Deagle. What you need is that chip damage, really, to change the entire round on its head. Decent amount of utility, though. But quite a few SMGs on the side of Virtus.pro, so maybe not wanting to go out into the yard at this. Deagle on Sybil is down, though. That's a good start.
Yeah, and if you can avoid the Scout on Flamey, he hit some pretty good headshots on Dust 2.
It's true. One of the very few highlights Navi had in that match.
Yeah, that was actually it.
We'll see. For now, Virtus.pro just taking their time. Pasha all the way over towards Ivy. He's just going to sit still as a bit of a rock, not move too much.
I feel
throw
like
out his utility.
I feel like if Navi win this map, you know, 16-7 or 16-6 or something, Virtus.pro just got to be left sort of scratching their heads a little bit, thinking, we took that first map so easily. Where did
what happened?
Where did the rest of the grand final go?
We'll definitely have some regrets so far, though.
They're sort of wanting to set up, but now, weirdly, they're being pushed by Navi in T-spawn, more or less. So that's a little bit weird. They do fight their way back. The MP7's doing what they're supposed to. So after a long pause, eventually they get all of the kills at the end. Almost, I think all of them were the SMGs. So that's great news. 12-5. And Navi cannot really buy yet. So gonna be another smooth ride here in the next round. Should be, at least, for VP.
You'd imagine so. This time even better of a buy on the side of VP and a weaker one on Navi.
Wait, why are they buying Navi this round so much?
No clue whatsoever. Not in the slightest. And this could have massive implications as well. We saw how badly it messed up with unnecessary buys early on. Flames are, well, the nades are going to work out. That's great. Actually, Edward finds one as well.
Why did that triple grenade work? Bialy taking 2 and Pasha dropping Simple, so some sort of recovery here in the round for Virtus.pro, but that actually could have been a terrible knockout if they had lost to just that kind of a setup right away. Flamey, who's been using the 5.7 for a long time, which I'm a big fan of, going for a bit of a fight there. So many bullets, turning around, almost getting Bialy as well. Long range, Zeus with the C-set 75. Him versus Bialy. So much time left. Bomb not planted, obviously. Zeus just hoping that he can get the right angle. Oh my god, no way! How does that work? Why is Zeus the one clutching all of these rounds for Navi? That alone would just be tilting me if I was on the VP side. 13-5. The buy somehow works, and VP have got to be shaking their heads.
That has to feel like the nail in the coffin, doesn't it? You have every opportunity. Navi goes for a ridiculous buy that should never, ever work.
No.
And they come out of it with a round. Even if VP were to win that round with one member surviving, like if they win that 1v1, they're still perfectly fine because Navi have just depleted all of their resources. They have nothing really to play off of. You're not going to see an AWP in the hands of Simple early on. You're not going to have a lot of utility in your next buy round unless you do an extra double eco, which again is going to strengthen VP's economy, so they're going to be able to buy you right back whenever, you know, they potentially lose a round. But that's stuff like that could so easily just get you off track.
I mean, you would imagine, you would say that if you're just looking at the playbook, don't give Virtus.pro way back into the game by forcing up in that round. Like, it doesn't make any sense because surely you can get 3 rounds here on the CT side once you get rifles.
And I mean, Navi won the round, but look at what kind of buy they're going into this with.
Yeah, it's still a little bit pathetic, isn't it? And Edward will go down. Mihu very, very aggressive with the AK-47. Snack's going to be taking off Electronic. It would be nice if Virtus.pro could actually start to play at that pace that they were pretty good at. Slow play doesn't really seem to suit them all that well. A little bit more aggressive might be exactly what they need. Mihu going to be taking down Flamey. And that leaves Zeus 1 versus 5. And again, even talking about damage at this point, probably not going to happen. So
don't worry about it. He just clutched all game.
Yeah. I mean,
if only he had a diffuse kit.
If only he had that, that'd be it.
The go signal. But yeah, Navi are going to go back to the bottom of the well. No money to work with, and even holding on to UMP and a ZZ, that's not a whole lot. My worry now is that Navi have just completely lost their minds and they're going to force up into the next one as well.
I mean,
I can't put it past them at this point, considering that previous buy.
Listen, they're not Vendetta, I'm telling you now, they won't do that.
They're not French.
No, I mean, I just listen. If they do that, it's like it just would be very silly.
It would,
because again, you get the double up button running.
I guess the idea here, if they want to force buy, is the fact that, well, we're going to have to double eco anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
that could be the reasoning I could get behind, but they are going to buy up.
So, but the thing is, if they buy now, it's true they were going to eco anyway.
But you could have so much more money. You could have an op. You could have utility.
Double.
Yeah.
So you're potentially sacrificing part of the double up. They have 4 grenades. Last time 3 were enough to get the 1 kill out there. See if they can try it again.
VP just completely vacated that A main area.
Yeah, not interested.
So VP getting away on that one. Pasha taking a little bit of burn damage, but that's fine. Right now very spread, and Navi gonna take a page out of the VP playbook on B.
Yeah.
The higher setup. Well, actually, Simple's just going to find the timing as well. Dio completely screwed. Ooh. Survives on 1 HP. Simple wants to go back, but backup has arrived. Instead, it's going to be Flamey to open things up in Ivy. That 5-7 doing work. Finally, Simple goes down, and that is the inner bomb side open for business.
Yeah, the rest of the team started to make their way there. Somehow they get intercepted by Edward. So the bomb is still somewhere back here, and Snacks holding on to it. So that's... They still have time, even if Snacks goes down. Maybe they could go and pick it up again. Flamey getting the kill on Pasha. It's getting very uncomfortable now. Na'Vi being so competitive, even in these rounds where they have next to nothing. And Edward's hearing the running. He's going to go for the fight. Snacks is down with the bomb. What a catastrophe. Now, Mihu has to run back to T-spawn, pick up the bomb, run back to an A-bomb side. I don't think this can happen. Like, with 40 seconds, that's almost no time at all. He has to start running right now.
Yeah, Edward's playing this brilliantly as well. Not showing, he doesn't have to do anything. Likelihood of Mihu going back to... Oh, there it goes. Likelihood of Mihu going back to Ivy as well after picking up the bombs, not that... I wouldn't say that's too big of a chance of him doing it. So Edward's worst case going to hear somebody running by. And again, like these... mad buys work out.
It's like Na'Vi can just sort of smell the weakness right now. They can sense that Virtus.pro are wounded, and they're not going to give up the hunt. Some of these rounds definitely are a little bit outside of the reach of what you would normally, even at your craziest hour, would try and pick up. Just say, listen, why not just go for what works? All we need are like 3 rounds, and that's it. We're going to end up winning the grand finals, which is, I mean, it seems inevitable at this point. Some of these rounds just have been good for Virtus.pro in the beginning. They've set up the right position, they've got the right weapons for it, and yet they just cannot close them out. Simple. Just with a quick shoulder peek, looking for anyone down here.
Nobody's willing to move on the side of VP. Set up in their default as usual. Waltho's going to go down close by the server box to clear anyone out there. They're going to get confirmation that no one from Na'Vi is playing aggressive. Now, though, the big question for VP, I guess, yeah, they are setting up for the yard take. This was something they did versus Tyloo as well quite often. They do like their executes. And for now, there's a 2-man defense on the inner bomb site for Na'Vi. So it's an excellent opportunity for VP to actually get something done.
It'll be interesting to see how Electronic muves, because the smokes are pretty much going to land on him. So he might have to... He's going to push forward instead, so that he could either pretty much go either forward or backwards. And forwards means less health. Oh, that's a good Molotov to force him as well. It doesn't matter when Edward picks up big kills like that. A double for him, Bialy and Neo down, and Mihu getting spammed through. They're shooting him in the legs, and finally, Electronic goes down, but they've lost so much in the back line in the meantime. Mihu getting 1 kill, and Snacks now with a 1 versus 3. Good setup here for Virtus.pro, but it's not enough, and Snacks can't tap his way out of that one. Simple with the triple. Na'Vi with 15 rounds. It's tournament point now for the Na'Vi side.
VP, that tiny anthill has become a mountain at this point. No weapons really to work with here. What kind of options are you left with? Like, can't necessarily push into yard that easily with CZs. Feels like you're kind of forced either to push through Ivy or go for a set executor to the inner bomb site. But right now, Na'Vi probably very aware of how the economic situation is for VP, and they can play that rather passively, just take the distances.
Just an overpowering performance from Na'Vi right now. Looking like a completely different team from Virtus.pro in the last 2 maps. And I mean, whatever buffer, whatever confidence was built from VP on playing on Dust 2, absolutely none of it translated into the later stages of the grand final. They haven't been able to recover at all.
They really haven't. Everyone in Na'Vi has had their time to shine. Simple Edward really being the dominating presence on Nuke, and here on Train, Flamey and Zeus doing most of the work.
They have next to nothing to try and play this with. Nice jump from Electronic.
They are going to go for the R-take as well. This is so bold from VP.
I mean, I'm not sure if anything feels either right or wrong at this point. You just have to make a call, don't you? Pushing up into the yard with pistols against the rifles, definitely not an easy task. They got very close already. Somehow managed to make their way under Electronic, which is a little bit confusing. Simple will not even care. Edward picking up one, kill Electronic with the next. And now just 2 players left. 1 left, it's Bialy. Oh man, 1 versus 4 here, and Na'Vi are going to be able to take him down. They win the championship 16-6. What a victory, and I mean, this was so dominant from them. Unbelievable win.
Unbelievable indeed, and being able to brush off that start on Dust 2, come back with immense force on Nuke, and then translating that into an extremely dominant victory on Train. Just very, very well done, and off the back of everyone on the side actually performing up to the top level.
Yeah, Dave did such a good job. Simple out there, enjoying his moment in front of the crowd. This was, I mean, a very, very good performance from Na'Vi. They weren't always looking this good. A little bit shaky in the group stage, a little bit of a struggle versus Envy, but this grand finals was something else. So, a new hope, I think, for this team. I mean, they sort of keep being right on the edge of doing really, really great things. This surely is a big stepping stone in the right direction, and obviously a big win for them. So, all you could really say is congratulations, obviously. And yeah, down on the main stage here, they are your champions for the CSGO Asia Championships 2018. It's Na'Vi.
Na'Vi 战队取得了本次2018 CAC CSGO 亚洲邀请赛的总冠军。好的，那此时此刻，我想在这么激动人心的时刻，我们不应该再给我们的冠军有任何预设的问题了。但是我相信大家粉丝们一定想听他们说些什么。OK， 那么我们的冠军队Na'Vi的成员，任何人有什么想分享的话，就在这个时候告诉所有支持他们的粉丝们。
Yeah, if we can have everyone just take turn and say something like.
I'll start first. Okay, yeah. This all crazy people. Thanks everyone for support. I really appreciate it. I never expect this. It's my first time in China, and those all people really kind to every team. To every team on tournament, and it's the most important.
他还是说这边的粉丝很疯狂，不停地替他们加油打气，对所有的队伍也都非常好。
Thank you for cheer for us, and thank you everyone who came. And I don't know, we are really happy. Just thank you.
他们也是非常开心，然后也是很感谢大家的支持。
Sorry guys, my English not good, but I wanna say, China, I love you.
China #1.
好的，那就让时间停留在这一刻，让我们记住 Na'Vi 在本届 CAC 的精彩表现，也记住所有的队伍为大家奉献的美好时刻。本次比赛到此结束，感谢大家的收看，让我们下一次赛事再见。
A big congratulations to Na'Vi. 15 days after claiming a title, they've done it again. $150,000 and the Champions Cup from the CS:GO Asia Championship is the boys in yellow and black. We're going to cut away from the stage and the crazy Japanese 80s game music and get some thoughts from Thorin and Sean Garris. You all right?
150k is not bad. You used to get 100,000 if you were Fnatic and you won the major.
Yeah.
To beat all the best teams in the world was unreal, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This is where CS has come now.
Times have changed. And that's twice. They've got 125 grand 2 weeks ago.
Not bad.
Yeah,
Not bad.
they've been killing it in
They've
the prize
literally
game.
made $275,000 in the last 15 days.
Absolutely killing. I was enjoying that photo shoot going on. Edward was like a photographer, like, yes, turn.
Yeah, Edward was
pose,
very hype
smile.
on the stage, by the way. Did you see when they lifted, he was jumping up
No,
and
he was
down?
hype at Star Series too.
He loses none of that enthusiasm.
No.
He just love playing the game and winning.
Where was that in our interview with him?
Yes.
Well, he was kind of there. He was kind of at the end, just keeping it close to his chest.
Maybe he was waiting for the finals.
Cagey and stuff. Can't go wrong with Chinese memes either. China #1. That's a crowd pleaser straight off the bat.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah. I feel a bit weird about this because it feels like. I don't want to take anything away from Na'Vi because they've been the best team here, but it feels like they haven't really had to play that well to win the title, which is a
basically
shame.
on cruise control. I mean, it says it all that really Simple didn't even have to show up in this final, bizarrely. And in fact, people like Edward, Zeus, the most maligned members of the team individually, took turns pretty much to style on Virtus.pro at this point in time. So not a very comprehensive, not really a close final in any sense. No. Incredibly comprehensive victory by Na'Vi, but it's not in as much as Na'Vi didn't come out in 5th gear and just blow them away. They did just kind of cruise, didn't they? It's bizarre.
Yeah.
Then again, from the veto onwards, it's been a strange
It's kind of
final,
worrying in a way for other teams, though, because if they can play like this, just averagely gather their way through the tournament without too much of a problem and then win the tournament, that's scary for some of the other teams.
They didn't even really use executes or strats really in that second half or the first half of Train on T-side. They lose pistol gun on 0-3, win 12 straight rounds as T-side Train. Just playing loose and free around mid, Flamey just tore them apart.
Yeah. Flamey was fantastic in that last
literally
game.
whatever he wanted in the team main. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, Flamey, I mean, he had a great final, actually, didn't he? Probably MVP of the final.
I would say he's probably the MVP of the finals, yes.
Yeah, okay. Yes. But not of the... Do you still think it's Simple? I mean, you look at his stats. He doesn't feel like he's really broken a sweat, right? Yeah. And yet somehow his stats are unbelievably good from this event.
It's so weird. You can say that Simple had a poor event, is an off event, but then you can still give him the MVP. Yeah. Like, it's so absurd, the level of CS that he's been playing, that he's still capable of doing something like that.
And obviously, part of the problem for this tournament is if the other finalist team had someone who'd been a contender and then in this final they'd done decent, then Simple has a quite similar, okay, I can see giving it to them. So that's the problem.
Had a good tournament, though.
He had a good tournament, but then again, in these games, he wasn't really going off.
He was very quiet.
I mean, Scream was doing very, very well, but he's gotten stopped in the semis. So, that's why it's tough to kind of rationalise giving it elsewhere. You know, I mean, his team did win the tournament, and for the complexity of it, you look for a start off at the stats, they're still really very, very good. You know, these would be career numbers for anyone else. It's just that this guy's so ridiculous, we consider this an off day.
And that's the problem with it, is he sets such a high standard that you kind of expect more from him, even when he's playing well. We're sort of looking at his stats going, well, wow, actually his stats are really good, but it doesn't feel like he's playing that well. But he has had another...
In many ways, he is really the Ferrero Rocher of Counter-Strike. You're spoiling us, Ambassador Simple.
I like that.
Then he would maybe say Count Suchina, I believe it was.
Yeah.
I remember those adverts very closely.
Yeah, I'm more a Dairy Milk man myself.
Okay. They should be sponsoring you.
They should, yeah.
Like where are they at?
Final thoughts on the tournament as a whole. It's been 5 days, 4 days of Counter-Strike. How have you enjoyed it, Sean?
I've enjoyed it a lot. I liked how Envious showed a form that we didn't expect from them. NIP kind of disappointed in my opinion. Tyloo stepped up by beating them. That was a big upset in my mind. So really shocked that Tyloo did that. It would have been really cool to see Tyloo make it to the finals, obviously, to have the home crowd here for them. But in the end, you know, Na'Vi prevailed, even with Simple having an off tournament, I guess. It's the MVP. Yeah. So I really enjoyed it, actually. I like the fact that we got 3 maps in the finals. Before it happened, I asked Duncan, I was like, dude, all I want is just 3 maps in the finals.
Didn't expect them to be so one-sided.
No,
though,
you should have asked for more. You said, I really want 3 maps in the finals.
Can we have 3 close
There you go,
maps?
Sean. 3 of the worst maps you've ever watched, mate. I should have been careful.
Can we have 3 close maps, Sean?
Yes.
Get the order right
I'll get it next time, I promise.
All right, okay. Duncan?
I think for me, the storyline of the tournament was Tyloo, because remember, as I keep stressing over and over again, when you consider they have a standing situation, this isn't the real Tyloo that you saw IM Sydney making that top 4 finish. what an exciting team, what great potential for the future. And then also, you know, we very rarely have the top teams come to these tournaments in China. There's been tournaments in the past, but it was the Tier 2 and Tier 3 teams. So I think it's an interesting precedent going forwards, because obviously if Tyloo's going to become a reasonably good team, they can have home soil, they can have an event where they don't have the jet lag, etc. And then anything's possible.
Yeah, fans here have been pretty cool as well. It's exciting to see Counter-Strike in China. We keep being told, Counter-Strike's not very big in Asia, there's no point in going out there. Actually, I think that kind of been proved wrong. The fans have been rabid this week.
Yeah, they have been. And they've been like all over the hotel and stuff asking for autographs. It's weird. I feel like they don't even know who Duncan and I are.
No, autographs from you, maybe.
Yeah, they don't know who Duncan and I are.
They ask us where Nip are. That's
which is crazy. I think in like a year and a half, the scene here will be way more developed. And when Tyloo understands like the fundamentals a little bit better as far as like late game play, I think they're going to be actually a serious contender in the scene. Probably like a Tier 1 contender.
You think by the next major?
That's a little too soon, I think.
Okay.
Well,
maybe the one after.
But it could be once they get Mo back if he's coming back in the lineup.
Yeah, especially because like one of the factors I've seen from these a couple of tournaments I've watched them in is, like I keep stressing, unless you've played against them, everyone watches that and goes, oh, if you just rush, you know, we know how to play against that. No one does that. So actually, you don't really. It's kind of a bit off kilter. Like Neo was saying in his interview, you know, it isn't usual, you know, not doing typical execute. So, yeah. I mean, I actually agree with Sean as well, actually. That's the only area they need to tweak up is kind of work on some of the theory of what you do in the late game, you know. I mean, I would say they're a perfect candidate if they're a team who could just get, like, a good coach in from the Western scene. I mean, they had Peacemaker, but like I say, a good coach in from the Western scene. Maybe work on some of the Filipinos. Just stay quiet, Sean. You don't have to pretend about it, you know. But anyway, if they could get someone in who's worked on those sorts of things, I mean, funnily enough, actually, you think of some of the people out there. Threat isn't doing anything by an IP right now. Just maybe bring him in, give a little bit of the...
Yeah. I know he likes China as well.
And money.
Yeah.
And money.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Who doesn't?
Yeah. If he doesn't, just give it to me and just help them. Just like
you
selfish.
should stay here.
like you know your demons. I feel these beats like